To grow in challenging times, in times of change, it takes strong relationships to turn challenges into opportunities and turn opportunities into value. By being close to our customers and linking our capabilities together, we can create more value, help customers reach their goals, and drive sustainable, profitable growth for both you and for SKF. It's time to collaborate for growth.
Welcome, everyone, to Collaborate for Growth, SKF's virtual distributor conference. We're coming to you live from Göteborg here in Gothenburg. We're going to be together for the next 2 hours. And in those 2 hours, you'll get an inside look at the new strategy that is in place for EMEA, for you distributors, and also all the tools at work to help you grow your business together with SKF. And we want to hear from you. So you'll see now in the Teams live stream there's a Q&A button. So make sure to go into the Q&A pane there and ask your questions. We want to hear from you. We have a team here who is ready to answer questions. And those that we maybe don't get to live here or in the chat, we'll make sure to get them answered after the event. And I know many questions came in ahead of time as well. So we've also incorporated that content into our questions for our speakers. So enough about questions from you to us. Now I want to ask you all a question. So let's go to our first mentee of the day. And you should be getting a QR code up on your screen there so we can see. QR code is there, or go to menti.com and put in that code 22587943. And we just want to take the temperature of you all. How are you all feeling? It is Monday morning. Are you raring to go? I know we're excited about everything we're going to be hearing in the next 2 hours. Look at that, excited. Lots of excited. And I'm actually not here alone in the studio. I'd like to see how our panelists are doing. We have a mini green room here, and let's see how they're doing. Are they equally as excited? We have David Johansson, who is your newly appointed president of Industrial EMEA, and Nadine Corell, who is head of distribution. Say hi to everybody. You guys are excited, right? Ready to go. We'll be hearing from them shortly. And we'll get back to some other mentee questions a little bit later. So enough from me now. You probably want to get things going. So let's kick off. I got the chance to speak to David and to President and CEO Rickard Gustafsson a few weeks ago to find out about SKF's strategy towards 2030 and the distributor's role in that strategy. Let's take a look. Welcome, Rickard and David. Good to see you both.
Thank you.
Thank you.
This is the first time both of you actually are addressing this large group of distributors. So what is it you want to say to them, Rickard, if we start with you?
Well, it's a number of things that I'm keen to say, but I'd like to start by first and foremost welcome you to this event, and also to reinforce that you are an absolutely vital part of the SKF ecosystem. And we truly value the collaboration, the business with you, and we are keen to further strengthen our relationships and the benefit that we all drive from these capabilities that we have together, and of course what we can do to our joint customers.
What about you, David?
Just coming into the role and also to some extent back in Europe, having been living in China 2018 to 2022 and just coming into this responsibility. So it's good to be back, good to be in industrial, and really good to be here with our distribution partners. In addition to what Rickard say, I would also highlight the brand equity, the strength of the SKF brand, because somehow this brand has enabled business, successful business, for over a century, for us, for partners, for you. And that also sets the expectation, right, on our way forward, that we really need to live up to those expectations and continue to develop and also leverage the SKF brand.
I agree.
So Rickard, the strategy then,
Right.
the intelligent and clean growth strategy, it's not a new strategy, but maybe for many of the distributors listening here today, it is new. So what do you want to say, what's different for them in the way SKF has been working to the way you're going to work now?
Well, internally, it is a rather significant change that we are going through or have embarked upon within SKF. And it's a number of things on how we think about our global footprint, how we adjust our operations. It's all about how we put more emphasis on certain industrial verticals to really play to our strength and continue to build our technical capabilities to support the brand that David was talking about. But in this context today, I like to point to 3 areas where I think will have a relevance for the audience, where I hope that you will start to see a difference. Firstly, is the fact that we have fully embedded sustainability into our business strategy. So I think we now honestly can say that we don't have a sustainability strategy. We have a sustainable business strategy, and that's a difference. And that's really what's driving us forward. Secondly, I like to point to the fact that in this whole operating model that we have created, we are really eager to push as much responsibility and accountability out into close to the business as possible. To make sure that we are faster, more agile in interacting with our customers, and of course our distributor partners as part of that. And I hope that we'll see that SKF will be more responsive, hopefully faster, so that we jointly can address a very volatile market environment. So that's one other thing. And thirdly, the third thing I want to stress is we put a lot of emphasis on the word collaboration. And it's even reflected in our recently launched purpose, where we say that together we reimagine rotation for a better tomorrow. And together is really all about collaboration. How do we collaborate with our entire ecosystem? Partners, employees, suppliers, distributors, customers, to build business opportunities and drive profitable growth that benefits all of us and aims towards a more sustainable future. So the whole word collaboration, I hope also will be visible in the way we operate and how we drive things forward.
So then, David, how does this apply in the EMEA strategy going forward? What will kind of be the key focus areas going forward?
Yeah, no, I think as Rickard mentioned, I mean, it is a rather big transformation, and actually not the least in Europe,
Right.
in EMEA.
True.
Our footprint transformation is quite dramatic, both based on market conditions changing, but also that we want to regionalize. So from a footprint perspective, we have quite a job to do. But if we focus more on the go-to-market, I would also say that one focus is clearly coming back to value. Where can we provide value? Where do we want to focus our efforts? Because if we look on our Europe, Middle East, Africa operations, we have been, I would say, highly decentralized, highly fragmented. Yes, it is a fragmented market, but at the same time, how do we come together as one strong value chain to deliver on a selected few common themes? And with the EMEA strategy, we have selected 4 wins and 1 fix, and also defending the core. In the 4 wins, we have selected industries like heavy industries, like food and beverage and agri, and like high-speed applications. But we also have distribution there, because we also believe that with the transformation in the market, we also see opportunities to grow and develop further in the distribution business. And this is a vital part also for providing a sustainable profitability and performance in our business. And there will be a lot of changes in how we do business. So it has to become more in focus, changing the value chains together.
So Rickard, David obviously mentioned the importance of the distribution business. How valuable is this vast network of distributors that SKF has globally? What do they mean to you?
To be honest, it's essential to the SKF model. Our business model is defined by 3 very significant dimensions. We operate in basically every single industrial vertical that exists. We do that across a very broad geographical footprint. We're talking hundreds of markets. and we have a significant number of end users. So it's impossible for us to reach out to this massive market, to the end user in this context, on our own. The distributors are an important part of the ecosystem to do that. And not just as the distributor for us to reach out into the market, you also provide significant value to the end users. It's kind of the first line of defense, so to say, or first line of interaction. And then we can then provide maybe the more in-depth knowledge and more advanced research and development and other type of technical support. But without this, the distributing network, the model won't work. So we are keen on continuing to explore opportunities, how we jointly can provide value for our end users, and that will drive profitable growth for the distributors and for SKF.
Yeah, so the distributors are really your close connection to the end user. So David, then I know we'll be hearing from you a little bit later about the Q3, more of a market outlook, but maybe already now you could provide, where do you see the opportunities for EMEA in this agile market that we're in?
In general, change means opportunities, right? And I think that's how we need to see it. Clearly in EMEA, new supply chains, new value chains will need to be established. Rika touched on sustainability. This is of course one driver, but in general also digitalization and competitiveness and regionalization. We know that new supply chains will need to be established the years ahead. Which means also different and new ways of working with our customers. Rickard is also highlighting, for us, we have our core capabilities. We need to ensure good availability of the right products at the right time, at the right cost, working on a competitive footprint. But at the same time, coming back to the value point, this has been, and it still has to be, how SKF differentiates in the market, right? So it's also a request or an expectation to our distribution partners to really drive that value creation. We need to remain curious about the real customer needs, about the hidden needs and the obvious needs, and to really be there to provide that customer experience that we stand up for as our brand. It has taken us to where we are today, and I'm sure this has to be the differentiator also going forward. In the meantime, we will develop the digital tools and the platforms so that our products are available, accessible. But I'm still sure and confident if we invest in engineering capability, industry, application, process insights, that is still what will make the difference and make us getting paid for at the right level so that we can continue to invest in our operation.
Thanks, David, and you'll be back for a live Q&A a little bit later, as I'm sure the distributors have lots of questions for you after everything they've heard today. So thank you both very much for your insights today.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
As we heard from David and Rickard there, the distribution business is so important for SKF, a business that has faced some challenges in recent years. But we all know where there are challenges, there are also opportunities. We're now going to get some insights into the distribution strategy for EMEA to find out how to meet and take advantage of those opportunities we saw in the video. And to do that, I'd like to now welcome in Nadine Corell, who's heading up distribution in EMEA. Welcome. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Nadine.
Thank you very much, Stephanie. I'm excited to be here and very happy about my new role, combining the sales responsibility for Central Europe and East Europe, together with the strategic focus on distribution business in EMEA. Distribution has always been my passion since I started more than 20 years ago in SKF. And since then, I have been working in different geographical areas, East Europe, China, Germany, always been in touch, listening and working with our distributors out there, learned a lot. And I'm glad to be now in charge of bringing back the focus on our distribution business.
And I know you've worked together with the local distribution teams from SKF to create this distribution strategy for EMEA to help ensure the business stays ahead of the curve. So tell me, what do you recommend? What's the recipe for success here?
Yeah, the recipe consists of different ingredients. There's not one size fits all. It's all about customer needs of today and in the future and understanding how these needs will develop. So we have done some deeper investigation, globally interviewing customers and distributors to understand the future needs and trends. And our findings was that the combination of the traditional values of distribution, like stock keeping, services, combined with the digital connectivity, e-commerce capabilities, this will make a difference. And also industry expert knowledge, deeper knowledge into service. The ones who can offer this combined package will not have to be worried about pure digital players like Amazon.
And how will SKF best support the distributors to achieve this?
It's all about achieving profitable and sustainable growth. So we want to support in this journey of differentiation and focus. It has to be worth it, right?
Yeah, and worth it. We know we've heard that term a lot in the preparation for this event. Tell us what worth it is all about.
Worth It is our new program for distributors in EMEA. It's about customizing our offer to the different needs. There are the different customer needs, and we need to understand that and adopt our offer. So that's also the difference from the past, more with SKF, where we had a wide portfolio and a lot of tools and activities, and we're pushing all of that on our distributors. Now the difference is that we are more focused, adjusting to their needs and also strategies. So sometimes we learn sometimes more is too much. It's all about focus, and this focus will make it worth it for us, for the customer, and for the distributor.
And will you focus, does this mean you'll focus on some distributors more than others?
We have a very diverse and large network of different distributors all across EMEA, and we believe this is our key strength, that we have different distributors who serve the different customer needs. There are customers out there who want to buy from the distributor next door, around the corner, having the good availability for them. There are other customers who request more complex contract management, serving their different branches, maybe even across Europe. And there are also other customers who need more deeper investments into digital and also into understanding their industries, being expert and offering service. And according to all of these different customer needs, the distributors have defined their individual strategies where they want to focus on, and we can support them on this journey. All of them have their purpose and their values of serving customer needs, and we want to be together with them in this journey of value creation and accelerate our growth strategy together.
And what would you say the key enablers are then in this?
it's about all about how can we together reach profitable and sustainable growth. And sustainable is not just our product offer. It's everything. It's the way we collaborate, the way of doing business. It's in all our processes and collaboration. And those defined key enablers are focus and efficiency, knowledge, logistic and inventory, and our go-to-market. So I would like to elaborate and give a few examples on each of those key enablers. So when we talk about efficiency, we listen to the distributor needs, and they shared with us we must become more easy to do business with. And one of that is concerning our tool, our web customer link, where they can order. So we have invested, we've worked on that, and you will hear more from Jens and Martin today about our new offer. When it comes to knowledge, our distributor college is very popular among our distributors, and we invested also there in a new platform so that we can make it more user-friendly step by step. We also invest into new courses, for example, for sustainability and for industry courses. We also offer every other month webinar sessions on specific topics of our strategy. And when it comes to logistic, we have really improved our availability specifically for distribution. Martina will talk more around that. In the go-to-market, I would like to mention the first dimension of the go-to-market, which is our product offer. So we have worked on our why SKF that many of the distributors know from the past. We launched why SKF spherical roller bearings, but with a new content, also containing sustainability, for example. And this is to help our distributors to sell the value of SKF products. Next up to come is why SKF DGBB that we are just about to launch in November to really capture this product dimension.
Yeah, so you talk about the product dimension. What's the other one?
The other dimension is the industry focus. So we have defined in EMEA the industries that we want to focus on, which is in the same time also very relevant for our distribution network. For example, heavy industries, pulp and paper, metals and mining. Diogo will talk more around our offer. For that is very important for distribution as well. Also food and beverage. Everyone eats and drinks, right? So food and beverage is the industry which is very relevant for all our distributors. We have a very good and strong value proposition in SKF, but we were also facing some issues that we have addressed.
Yeah, and to discuss and talk about some of these issues that we know have affected food and beverage, we thought we would get some insights from the man heading up food and beverage globally for SKF, Andreas Galvagni, and he's joining us now. Andreas, maybe you can share your insights. Give us a status report where we are now.
Hi, Stephanie. Sure. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to directly speak to our distributors in this forum today. EMEA is our biggest market for food and beverage, and distribution is our most important sales channel. So a close collaboration with you, with our distributors, will be key for our common success in this winning industry. And as Nadine rightfully said, yes, there were a lot of challenges we faced over the recent years in our food and beverage business, and it has been really upsetting. It has been upsetting for you, our distributors, and it has been also upsetting for us. The most critical situation to be solved has been the delivery situation in our food line ball bearing units, especially addressing the various issues we had in our blue line supply. These issues were mainly caused by severe supplier issues. So we have to admit our supply chain was not solid enough to cope with the demand for the blue line units. Over the last couple of months, we have been running an internal recovery project addressing those gaps throughout the complete demand chain of our food line ball bearing units, especially focusing on blue line with highest priority. And today I'm happy to confirm that our complete backlog for the blue line units will be recovered still within this year. So this is good news, although we have learned the lesson the hard way, but we have now installed a more solid supply chain based on dual sourcing for components supply and a more flexible production going forward. And with food and beverage being a focus industry now, we will not stop there. We will make further improvements looking into the different product lines in our food and beverage business.
So looking ahead now, then, Andreas, what can distributors expect from you at SKF?
For sure, we want to grow our food and beverage business. 2024 is just around the corner, so we are looking forward to launching specific go-to-market programs. Remember, we have best-in-class solutions. We will prove a better delivery performance. And now we want to collaborate with you to win back the trust of our final customers. When we win back the trust of our customers, we will leverage an enormous growth potential in the food and beverage industry. So practically what we will do, we will offer specific food and beverage on-site trainings. We will provide improved distributor college courses, and we will expand food and beverage specific campaigns in the framework of our distribution strategy. Moreover, to give you a glimpse what is coming, you can of course also expect new technical solutions from SKF, offering a high customer value, proving our technical leadership in the industry. And the first new technical solution will still come within this year. And not to say too much, but it will be of our SRB portfolio.
Thank you, Andreas.
Great to hear how we have been actively addressing and fixing our issues, and good to see and understand how it all comes together to our growth strategy. We want to collaborate for growth.
And stay with us, Andreas. We're going to move on to our Q&A, as our listeners probably have lots of questions for what they've heard now from Nadine and from David and Rickard. And to do that, let's kick things off and bring in David Johansson. Welcome, David. So
Thanks,
before we go to our Q&A, let's follow up with our mentee that we asked earlier and see what the results became. I know we looked, there was a not so good, but maybe that one disappeared. And there's a, I don't know. There's a one, I don't know. So I wonder, hopefully now they can switch it up and be excited. We have mostly excited and lots of good. So that's good to see. Yes. Okay, so we'll go to the next mentee. Now, the next question we thought we would pose to you is, in what area do you see the biggest opportunities for growth with SKF? So during the Q&A, we'll let you answer and we'll build a word cloud in one word, and we'll come back to the results in a few minutes after the Q&A. Okay, so let's move on then to David. We saw there in the video, you talked a little bit about the market outlook, but maybe you can mention, you just had the Q3 results.
Yep.
SKF, talk to us about a little bit more about that.
Sure, can do, Stephanie. All in all, I think Q3 provided quite a solid result, a margin defense quarter, I would say. We see quite big dynamics in the different industries currently and also in the different geographies. So big swings in the markets, not the least in EMEA, and affecting our production here. But all in all, a pretty strong report when it comes to defending our profitability so that we are able to continue these investments. What more to say? Distribution and EMEA actually kept up pretty strong. So when it comes to the resilience, both in the business, but I would say also in this partnership, right, between SKF and our distribution partners, it has shown strength in Q3. So even if we have a cooling economy and a slowdown in Europe right now, we can see that Europe continues to deliver pretty strong.
And if we talk about regionalization and the impact on future value and supply chains and the dramatic change that will happen. What direction are you thinking there?
Yeah, the reason why we, both Rickard and I, call it a dramatic change is that for Europe, which has been our main hub, right, for producing inside SKF, it has been the main hub also for exporting to the other business areas, the other geographies. That one is now shifting pretty fast as part of the regionalization. On top of that, then, we have both the slowdown of the economy right now, a quite weak market, but also the sustainability aspects. So naturally, we have quite a big supply chain and our own footprint transformation that we are launching and that we are going through right now. So big changes going on right now for SKF in Europe.
And you mentioned sustainability. Obviously, it's a strategic part of the SKF business. Where and how do you see sustainability impacting the daily distribution business?
I think we have spoken with many of you, many of our distributors already about sustainability and the opportunities linked to this. My background is in automotive, perhaps one of the front-running industries, but we see it on a broad base now, I would say, that more and more of our end customers are looking for sustainable solutions. And they start their net zero journeys, right? We have discussions with many of you on this journey. SKF has been a front runner in sustainability over the decades, and we intend to be and remain the clear leader for sustainability. So here we see opportunities, and I think this is one of the main topics also going forward in our partnership agreements and developments to become more sustainable and to enable our customers to actually accelerate their net zero journeys.
And it's also a fundamental part of our Worth It strategy, sustainable growth, and how we can support our distributors there. We are working on how we can increase awareness and the understanding of it. For example, we are working on distributor college course. Also, we are working on how we can support our distributors answering the customer demands with a concrete offer. We can mention here remanufacturing, where we can document the CO2 savings for the end customer, for example. So sustainability is becoming an increasingly important part of our value proposition in our products and innovation. And it's much more. It's also, for example, in the supply chain and logistic. How can we be more sustainable there? How we can be more cost efficient? And we are happy to collaborate with our distributors to co-create further activities in that field.
And many distributors obviously see an increasing pressure from unauthorized channels. Are you kind of taking any measures to support them in this?
Yeah, this is of course an important topic for all of us. And where is this increased pressure coming from? I mean, we face lower demands, as we heard from David. There is availability is improved, demands are lower, so pressure overall in the market is growing, and especially also from non-authorized source. We as a market leader see our responsibility in keeping stability in the market, supporting our partners in driving the value selling, supporting with concrete market joint activities with them. Also the brand protection, we continue our activities there. But there's also more we need to do, right?
Perhaps on top of this, Nadine, we can just comment. I mean, when we launched our new management team for Europe, Middle East, Africa, we also installed the function of a commercial office with Jens, who you will actually get to know later in this session too, providing stronger guidelines, but also in practice gating and much stronger commercial adherence to where do we want to perform and how do we want to perform. So having much stronger mechanisms as well to control the flows of SKF products. So I think there are multiple aspects, but we shall probably also recognize that being the clear leading brand, and coming back to the discussion you had with me and Rickard about investing in our brand, of course there is also always a temptation to use that brand for various reasons, because there is profits to be made out of this brand, and that's why we are representing this brand. So for me, it's critical what Nadine mentioned. How do we still focus on the value side? How do we still differentiate through knowledge, through service, through the best application understanding? That's SKF, right? And to me, that's always SKF. And that will also differentiate us and our selected partners from the grey channels, if we can say.
And I know we've had some questions coming into the chat, and Nadine, this one is for you. You mentioned the different partner types. So maybe you can elaborate on how, on this, differentiate the different partner types and how you collaborate with them.
Yeah, Worth It is about understanding the different distributor needs and setups and adjusting our offer according to that. So if we take just one example, the service, then the supply partners need an easy to sell offer like Axios, for example, where we will come to later on. They need product data, they need digital marketing content. When we think about the vested partners, they need more support. Also, for example, training their large sales forces on that, doing joint customer events together. And when we think of the integration partner, they even invest a step deeper into the collaboration with SKF in a co-creation way. And we can think of, for example, the certified partners here as well. But this is just one example. Important as it's customized is that it's driven by our local sales teams. So we need to go into collaboration locally to understand the distributor needs, setups, and what is our offer there.
And I know another question that has come in a few times is, where do you see the impact of the current geopolitical situation? Maybe you both can comment on that.
Yeah. First of all, and most important, is the people aspect here. And since we also have colleagues and partners and distributors from Ukraine and also Israel online, it's important for us to say our first priority is on the people, on the well-being, on the safety. We support our teams, we are in regular exchange, and we stand together as a SKF team. And that includes our distribution partners and their families, of course. Then there's also risk connected to this. SKF has a strict policy of adherence to export control law and legislation, and we take necessary actions to make sure we comply and our partners comply to this law and legislation. We can also see this, as David mentioned, as opportunity. In challenging times, it's about being close to the market, being close to the customer, understanding the needs, driving our value proposition in the industry together with our distributors, and winning also in the challenging times. And that's what we are here for. We want to collaborate for growth.
Right. I think this is really important. We have had so much turbulence, right? And various crises over the last decade now, almost. And I think one takeaway is really, the one who can adapt fastest and the one who can respond fastest, and being close to the customers will have the opportunity to gain more opportunities. Like Nadine is saying, we have very strict control of the business, where we play, how we play, with whom we play. But having said that, this is also coming back to the comment from Rickard. Why we work with distributors, being close with the end customers, being able to respond quickly to these changes in the market. So I think this is the world we are living in right now. We need to leverage the opportunities and make the best for the company as well in staying ahead of the curve.
Thank you. I see one, maybe we can take a final question, and it's for Andreas, if he's still with us. And it's, what kind of food and beverage campaigns are you planning for next year?
Yeah, I said we want to grow our food and beverage business next year. So we will also increase our marketing activities in 2024. And we will also continue with the Why SKF
support the launch of our new SRB I mentioned with clear go-to-market strategies. But there will be also a full digital campaign coming next year for our complete food and beverage portfolio, and it will be sequences throughout the complete year, so you can expect news every month. And we will make sure that you have easy access to these materials in the distributor hub, for example. And last but not least, what we are planning to do is we will also launch a series of webinars focusing on specific solutions for food and beverage. So a lot is coming next year.
Thank you very much, Andreas. And before I let you both go, I thought we would just check back in with our mentee and see what word cloud we built here. Where do you see the biggest opportunities for growth with SKF? Food and beverage is big there. Sustainability, obviously, big. Food, digitalization, distribution, availability, partnership, competitiveness. Yeah, any comments with what you both see there?
It's great to see how it's fitting to also our topics that we presented today. So you confirm that we are on the right journey together. Yeah.
Right. Good to see. And I mean, food and beverage is now one focused industry that we'll talk more about today, which is in focus. But here is also a dialogue to be had between us, right? We want to focus on selected industries. Which are those industries? Help us here also. How do you see value creation that we can do through our products and services that you can provide us with? So I think this is the path, right, for us to win going forward. So happy to see that word cloud, Stephanie.
Great. Thank you both for being here
Thank
today.
you.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. And so that wraps up the strategy portion of the conference. And Nadine, we heard her speak about the 4 pillars in the Worth It program. And that's what we're going to focus on now in the next hour. And I have a few new speakers here joining me in the studio and online. Maybe we can have a look. Give everybody a wave, our speakers, both digitally and live here in the studio. We'll be hearing from all of them shortly. So we know now that digital tools are an essential part of focus and efficiency for SKF. Now we're going to focus on that. We're going to talk about digital services and something new called SKF for Me. In this block, we'll be hearing from Jens Törnqvist, who is Director Commercial and Digital EMEA, and Martin Thun, who heads up Digital Business in EMEA. So first, I'd like to welcome up Jens.
Thank you so much. I am really happy to be here and to invite you into the digital world of SKF. We imagine a different SKF in 2030. We talk about our concepts around intelligent and clean, and by that also digitalizing our full value chain and also accelerating our technology development, and that goes hand in hand. So I want to take on a bit of a trip on a journey on what is going on inside SKF. We have a clear aim of more digital order and supply chain management. So we have a target of 85% of our order lines to be fully digital together with you from the start, so call it native digital. But we also have some manual processes, and here we will apply process automation, both in the commercial and sales aspects, but also in the supply chain. When we talk about design automation, so converting the manual head or brain-driven calculations into machine-derived calculations, and to provide tools for digital engineering, we have a lot of investments going on in that space, and that will both benefit you in form of better products, but also tools for you in front of your customers to support your customers in the engineering space. We also work a lot with AI, and we use it both for embedded services, so chatbots and other means, but we also use it in what we call process mining. It means that for the new ERP rollout that we are undergoing in SKF in Europe, we are now putting process mining powered by artificial intelligence into that. So we can actually see where we create waste and we can remove waste, and that will make us a more attractive partner to you at the end, because we will be more lean and efficient. Something that I'm especially proud of is actually the full value chain digital twin. We call it the command center. Why do we call it the command center? Because it actually became very active in the crisis of Russia and Ukraine. We had already started the development to get a full transparency from any raw material in the world, its transport into our factory, and how that became a product, a specific designation, then being outbound served to specific customers. We have that full transparency. And when things went wrong in the crisis of Russian invasion of Ukraine, our supply chain was hampered, and we could immediately see with what lead time and what products would we get problems, and how could we mitigate that to make sure that you got the right availability that you needed. So that is a very powerful tool we have inside SKF. We also make significant investments in our manufacturing. We call it world-class manufacturing and logistics. In the manufacturing space, the investments are made to make us more flexible and faster to respond to changing demands of you as a customer. In the logistics, we will automate and make that more intelligent to reduce carbon dioxide footprint, shipments smaller, more frequent, and that's ongoing as we speak. One key part, which is also driven by our environment, is the carbon dioxide and the digital footprint that we have around our products. Both to provide a product passport, but also to understand what each specific individual bearing carries footprint. Not as an average, but actually the individual and its journey from raw material to your warehouse. And that is actually happening as we speak as well. Why am I now asking or actually telling you what we are doing in SKF, both inside and outside? Well, it is because we want to give you all of this data at your fingertips. And with that, I would like to introduce Martin Thun to talk about our latest investment, which is SKF for Me in this space, that will give your data at your fingertips. Welcome, Martin.
Thank you, Jens, for the introduction and handover. My name is Martin, and I'm head of digital business, focusing on the digital interface in the context of our partners and customers. Imagine to be best in the industry at providing digital experience for partners and customers by delivering the most intuitive, rewarding, and engaging digital services and solutions. Actually, that is our vision in the digital business context. SKF is committed to digital investments, and our key initiative to deliver on this vision and meet the overall digitalization trend is SKF for Me. Exciting, cool, and brand new stuff from SKF. So SKF for me is our new 24/7 self-service portal for you, our partners and customers, to make your life easier when you interact and do business with us digitally. This means that we want this portal to provide all relevant SKF information and services in one place, available for you at any time, on any device, and in a personalized way. So what can you currently do in SKF for me? Here we can see an overview of the current functions and features, services in SKF for me. The starting point of the development of SKF for me has been our current web shop, Web Customer Link, which is highly used by operational buyers and other people at your companies. So right now, this development is work in progress, but all business critical functionality of Web Customer Link, such as placing orders, ask for quotes, check your order book, search products, and so on, is now also available in SKF for me, but packaged in a new design with some added functions and updated features. Examples of updated functions and features are a personalized dashboard. So on the starting page of SKF for me, you can check updates on your orders, invoices, and quotes. Then we have certain services that have been refined and improved. One example is follow and track your orders. So we have a much better upfront order tracking now. And a completely new service is invoice control that gives you the possibility to check your invoices and details and the latest status. It should be emphasized that this development of SKF for me is a journey that has just started. So what is the long-term ambition of SKF for me? As I explained, SKF for me supports operational buyers mainly with purchase-related transactions for the time being. But in the long run, we want SKF for me to be the place providing all relevant SKF information and services supporting your needs. In other words, we want to support the full user journey, not only the purchase phase, but also pre-purchase and post-purchase, and different personas at your companies, not only operational buyers. We see sales and marketing reps, maintenance staff, operation managers, and engineers. So this means that to really meet this ambition, long-term ambition, we will continue to invest in SKF for me. And we will continuously develop this portal in an agile way and working closely in close collaboration with our partners and customers. We are listening to your input and feedback before we actually start any development. And we are refining existing services in the portal, but also adding new services. And we're working in versions and running pilot evaluations before we make certain services available for the broader user community. A few examples of new functions and features that will be added to SKF for me going forward. We are talking about a live chat and chatbot. There is one thing. Another thing is trainings. Provide a training catalog where you can actually take trainings. Case ticket management. Get an overview of open support tickets that you have with SKF and check the latest status. We have also in the pipe claims and return handling. So SKF for me will in the future enable you to make claims and manage the return. So imagine new services that will make your life easier to actually interact and do business with us digitally. And we are eager here to listen to your input and feedback. So what are the key benefits? I mean, we strongly believe that we can create a lot of value with SKF for Me. I mean, through SKF for Me, we are attacking defragmentation of our digital ecosystem. We are putting everything in one portal, and we strongly believe that the digital experience in this portal will be much better than in the past. I would also like to add that many of the functions and features in SKF for Me will also be available as APIs, application programming interfaces. It's a kind of integrated solution that could be of interest for those of you that want to consume SKF information directly in your own system. Speaking of APIs, I would like to say a few words about our entire digital sales portfolio. Here you can see an overview of the portfolio. It's a broad spectrum of different solutions. It's a mix of web solutions like SKF for Me and integrated solutions like APIs, EDIs, SKF e-business adapter. And we have this portfolio with different solutions to meet different needs. And they are all here to digitalize our common interface of interactions. And do not hesitate to reach out to your SKF contacts and representatives if you want to discuss and get more information about these different solutions. We are here to support you, to make you successful, more effective, more efficient, and together grow our business. So, having said that, thanks a lot for your attention.
Thank you, Martin. So lots of exciting news, a lot of information maybe to take in. So what would be a few of the key takeaways you want distributors to take with them?
I would like to start with the mention of the investment we're making into this. Not only SKF for Me as a platform and one place to go to, but also the underlying services that I talked about before, and the API library that makes this consumable from your own systems as a partner if you don't want to use the portal per se.
I would like to stress this defragmentation of our digital ecosystem. I mean, really, one place, one entry point for our information and services, supporting the full user journey and different personas. This will make you much more effective and efficient when you interact with us digitally.
And the way we develop the services, I think, the collaboration that we do with you as partners. And if you're not already invited, you will be invited to the circle where we actually talk about the next generation services, and you will be there to actually put those requests with us and design it together. I think that's the cool part, to do it together.
Yeah, so I think SKF for Me is a sign of a changing and better SKF in this area. And it's now coming your way with the rollout of SKF for Me to our partners.
Great. So if anyone has any questions about anything you've heard regarding SKF Digital Services, Martin and Jens will be back later in our Q&A. Let's move on now to heavy industries. Let's now turn to value creation in heavy industry. Metals, pulp and paper, mining, mineral processing, and cement. These are really the backbone of SKF and of the SKF distribution business. Every distributor serves customers within heavy industry. Let's get a better understanding of this market and see what the trends are right now. I'd like now to welcome Diogo Vale, who heads up heavy industry for EMEA. Welcome.
Hi, Stephanie. Good to be here.
So Diogo, obviously SKF has a clear understanding of the market. You are market leaders, but what are the main focus areas going forward to achieve your targets and gain even more market share?
In effect, heavy industries accounts for more than 1/3 of SKF distribution business. It is a very stable and mature industry which has a very high potential, especially on aftermarket. I dare to say that this is the industry where SKF has the strongest portfolio offer, and together with our distributors, we are the market leaders. I believe that innovation is a key element to keep our leading position. Thus, we need to bring from the outside in insights to identify opportunities that will allow us to develop new products that will improve our competitiveness, enter new customers, or even create market demands. As far as our customers' priorities are concerned, safety is the number one priority, and SKF can support a lot our customers improving it by offering solutions that mitigate the risk of accidents. Profitability is obviously an area of interest for all our customers, and here we can act in three main domains: increasing revenue, decreasing cost, minimizing working capital. Sustainability is, of course, another focus area where SKF can help with our clean tech portfolio. For today's conference, we couldn't bring any customers. Nonetheless, I want to share some of their voices so that we can understand better what their needs and expectations are.
Sì, il rapporto che noi abbiamo instaurato con SKF e il distributore è il classico triangolo, nel senso dove ognuno riesce a portare via un beneficio, e noi forse, che siamo il cliente finale, siamo riusciti ad avere il doppio vantaggio. Ma questo triangolo ha fatto sì anche, ci ha permesso di avere sostanzialmente anche creare del valore misurabile. Noi non acquistiamo più il cuscinetto e lo mettiamo nel nostro magazzino, ma lo preleviamo nel momento in cui ci serve e in quel momento diventa nostro. 2 vantaggi e 2 azioni per contenere. Uno, finanziario, siamo disposti a pagarlo di più quando lo acquistiamo, quindi questo è un vantaggio penso per chiunque. E noi non abbiamo immobilizzo di capitali. Nello stesso tempo ci obbliga ad avere una politica di manutenzione più efficace ed efficiente.
Benim şahsi açıdan gördüğüm top noktada SKF. Bunun nedeni özellikle mesela bizim dizayn çalışmalarımızda olsun, hesap anlamında olsun. Kendi SKF'ın bünyesindeki sitede her türlü bilgiyi bulabiliyoruz ve bu bizim için çok yardımcı oluyor. Ayrıca bunun önemi şu: her şeyden önce Erkan Körpekaya beyefendi aynı dili konuşabiliyoruz kendisiyle. Yani ben ona bir teknik bir şey aktardığım zaman bunu çok iyi algılayıp SKF'a bildirebilmesi bu nedenden dolayı bizim için çok önemli bir durumlar.
This first block was about some fundamentals related with stock efficiencies, reliability, maintenance, and technical support. Mr. Guarino talks about the classic triangle SKF distributor customer, a kind of a three-party symbiotic relationship, and how important this relationship is to deliver monetized customer value. Just-in-time delivery mean less working capital and the need for better maintenance practices. Willing to pay premium price for higher service level. Challenge seems to be another triangle: price, value, cost. Mr. Sarvan starts to stress the strong engineering knowledge and SKF product quality. But more importantly, the strength of having a so-called common language, lingua franca, between the three parties and the tight collaboration to sort out application engineering issues. Now let's watch the second testimonial block.
Och hållbarhet var ju ett mål som vi tittade på redan där när vi skapade avtalet. Hur ska vi hjälpa till med hållbarheten? För att det är ju inte alltid så enkelt i en värld att jobba med det här. Men där hittar vi ju ganska tydliga kopplingar mot att hitta tidiga lagerskador, rekonditionera lagret, använda det flera gånger. Så vi har kört några gånger prova det och det är ju otroligt effektivt och kostnadseffektivt.
En el que se hace recomendaciones de diferentes servicios o productos o metodología de utilización de ciertos herramientas, los cuales no teníamos nada de usted. Obviamente se me llama para la industria, para el medio ambiente, para la sociedad en general.
E-commerce and e-management of portfolios has become so critical in our businesses, and I don't think we've even touched where that could improve really, and I think that's probably one of the quickest areas that one can start seeing real true benefit.
The second block was about sustainable and future-proof collaboration. In one hand, Mr. Johansson elaborates about difficulties around sustainability-related issues. On the other hand, it is interesting to listen to him talking about how bearing life cycle management best practices can support the sustainability initiative, namely remanufacturing services, as an effective solution to reduce CO2 emissions and decrease operating costs. Then Mr. Putz shares a very thoughtful statement about a trusted advisor relationship and the positive impact we, distributor, together with SKF and customer, can bring to the industry, the environment, and the society in general. Finally, Mr. Elof brought some interesting insights about e-business and e-portfolio management as key areas to improve customer experience going forward.
Yeah, and Diogo, we heard a lot from all of them about this collaboration together, and we heard about this triangle with SKF, the customer, and of course the distributor. And what is the distributor's role here? How important is this network for Heavy?
This triangle is about value creation. The three parties that join forces to figure out how to best collaborate to unleash true benefit to all, a symbiosis. I know this is quite a big challenge because there are some conflicts of interest, namely when it comes to pricing. But at least this should be a shared goal. Looking at this endeavor, we, all together, need to adapt ourselves to the different realities inside this triangle. Of course, focusing on the short-term results, but also investing in the long-term customer relationship. As for our distributors, heavy industry customers are basically everywhere. I even dare to say that most of the distributors present in this conference, if not all, have at least one customer from heavy. For some distributors, the heavy industry customers are of critical importance. They are basically their business backbone. The distributors are an extension of SKF in the market. They represent our brand, knowledge, and competencies, offer our products and solutions to the customers, with a plus to add extra value on top. Some customers don't even distinguish SKF from the distributor itself. They consider us as one entity, one SKF. Having this said, I believe it becomes clear why they are so important. Now it's time to have a look into the third video.
Partnerskapet mellan SKF och Momentum. Jag kan ha varit med i 30 år och SKF har varit med som partner till Momentum ända sedan tidernas begynnelse då Momentum startade. Och under de här åren så har det bara blivit bättre och bättre. Vi har utvecklats tillsammans. Vi blir bättre och bättre på att hjälpa våra kunder. Och det här är ju så extremt viktigt, för våran mission lider ju tillsammans för en hållbar industri, och tillsammans innebär ju för oss väldigt mycket att jobba tillsammans med SKF och med slutkunden. För vi kompletterar varandra på ett fantastiskt bra sätt. Och det här gäller att vi fortsätter, vi både vill göra det, och jag är helt övertygad om att vi kommer göra det här, göra det ännu bättre för att hjälpa ännu fler kunder på ett ännu bättre sätt i en framtid.
30,000 being a distributor and SKF being the manufacturer, it's really important that we have a close relationship and have some common goals. So we're working together towards those common goals. What we do is we make sure that we communicate effectively with SKF where we have issues, and we work around how we can best go to market with the solutions to best satisfy the needs of our customers.
Queremos seguir evolucionando de la mano de SKF y aprovecharnos de todas los avances y nuevas tecnologías, nuevos productos que SKF estamos seguros que va a poner en el mercado. Entendemos que va a ser también muy importante, va a tener un papel muy importante todo lo que son las nuevas tecnologías y la digitalización, ¿vale? Tanto para la relación con el cliente como también para, es importante, la gestión de nuestros inventarios. Como bien conocéis, hemos inaugurado hace poco una nueva plataforma logística y también queremos que con ello llevar a una excelencia de servicio y la entrega a tiempo del producto en todos nuestros clientes del territorio nacional.
Burada SKF Türkiye'ye çok teşekkür ediyoruz. Çünkü genelde yapılanmasında sektörden gelen segment bazlı arkadaşlarla çalışıyoruz. Bu şekilde olunca da arkadaşların hem teknik becerileri, hem teknik bilgileri, hem de testlere hakim olmaları bizim için çok büyük bir avantaj sağlıyor. Her ne kadar SKF hem çözüm anlamında, hem teknik anlamda, hem ürün anlamında ne kadar gelişmiş olursa olsun, maalesef Türkiye ekonomisinde bazı firmalar fiyat odağını ortaya çıkartıyorlar. İş fiyat kısmına döndüğü zaman dönem dönem eksiklikler yaşıyoruz.
On this clip, I like especially the comment around price and how important it can be to lead us towards success. Because without a differentiated and monetized value proposition, we can fall on the commodity trap.
So we've heard the word value over and over again throughout this, Diogo. How do you plan on utilizing the distributor network to create more value and achieve your business goals?
To continue increasing our market share and leading position, there are three pillars one needs to focus on. Number one, innovation. Identify opportunities to develop new offers to keep our portfolio compelling and competitive. Based on a strong application knowledge, being able to collect data from the customer side, analyze it and benchmark, the need to be credible, having a strong sense of partnership with our customers. Number two, account management. Together, we need to co-create value and develop sound customer relationships. Knowing who is who inside the customer organization, need to have a strong technical and financial acumen to develop differentiated value propositions with tangible value. A heavy commitment to develop trustful, triangular relationships that enable business and profit growth.
Thank you so much, Diogo, for your reflections, and we'll see you a little bit later in the Q&A.
Going forward, we trust you are as much committed as we are. Thank you very much. Talk to you later.
In heavy industries that we just spoke about, condition monitoring and predictive maintenance are well established. Let's now move on to a condition monitoring solution that's relevant for all industries, but an ideal entry-level tool that works in smaller manufacturing operations. It's easy to sell, easy to learn, and easy to install. You distributors may have heard a little bit about it. It's called Axios. We're now going to take a deep dive into what value it can provide. So now, please welcome Stefano Abba, who is Service, Business and Portfolio Manager EMEA, and Chris James, who is a specialist in SKF condition monitoring systems. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hi, everyone. Good to be here.
Hi, everyone. Good to be here as well to introduce this new and great offer from SKF. This is an offer that SKF introduced in North America 1 year ago, and now we are bringing it to the market across EMEA, and let's see why. First, more and more facilities are looking to introduce some kind of digitalization, and condition monitoring is today a popular candidate for this. This means that there is on the market a growing demand for easy-to-use monitoring solutions. We have also observed that many of these new offers have been promoted over the internet through web shops, reaching wide and diverse audience. But we believe that SKF Axios product offer an opportunity for our distributor to reach this audience directly, build relation, business inside their customer plans, not remotely. We also believe that it is our distributor in EMEA that can benefit best from this product, as it is probably one of the easiest system on the market, but I would say it's really the easiest system, both to install and to sell. But let's take a look to a video to learn more.
We know manufacturers constantly face the threat of unplanned equipment failure and costly downtime. Manual data collection is useful, but it's also time-consuming, and machine health issues can still be missed. On top of that, there's a lot of equipment out there that isn't even being monitored. It's just too expensive and requires too many resources. SKF and Amazon Web Services have teamed up to bring you SKF Axios, a new, easy-to-use predictive maintenance solution. It's wireless, it's totally scalable, and it's extremely cost-effective. Plus, you can use it in virtually any industry, from food processing to pulp and paper to pharmaceutical to utilities to universities and hospitals, pretty much anywhere. Every day, we see customers like you looking for a simple, automated, affordable way to monitor more equipment. You want to be notified when equipment needs inspection. You want to easily trend your machine data. When it comes to keeping your machines running, you want peace of mind. That's what SKF Axios delivers. Using sensors, gateways, and machine learning, SKF Axios detects anomalies on almost any rotating industrial equipment. Installation gets you up and running in minutes, not hours or days. No training or complicated IT setup is required. Wireless triaxial sensors are mounted on machines to collect vibration and temperature data. The data is pushed right to the cloud where machine learning is applied to detect anomalies. The more data you collect, the smarter SKF Axios gets. If anomalies occur, you're alerted to make quick decisions and take action. You have an operation to run. Trust your machine health to SKF Axios to keep it running.
So amazing. You've seen how easy it is, but Chris, can you tell us more about it?
Yeah, certainly, Stefano. We've used the word simple a lot in that video. So what exactly do we mean about simple when it comes to this little fella here? Well, to answer that question, really, we need to first look at the condition monitoring process itself. And that can be broken down into 3 steps. First, there's the detection step, where we need to measure something that is indicating the mechanical health of the equipment. So in the case of this product, it's vibration and temperature. And then we need to establish what's normal. And once we've established what's normal, then detect departures from normal or anomalies. Then the next step after that is diagnosis. Now with diagnosis, we take the anomaly and we perform an analysis on the vibration and temperature to determine what the problem is, how bad it is, and how long we've got to take action. And then the final step is to perform some sort of maintenance action. Firstly, an inspection to confirm that diagnosis and to figure out exactly what's wrong. And then, most importantly, to plan and execute corrective action. Now, in the condition monitoring process, this middle bit, the diagnosis part, that can get complicated. It can involve trained vibration analysts who perform all sorts of black magic on the vibration signals to determine what's wrong. So with SKF Axios, it simply takes the approach to skip that step and go straight to the maintenance action. So it doesn't attempt to tell you what's wrong with the machine. It'll just flag that something's changed and something's wrong, and then it's up to an inspection to determine what's going out. That means that this makes the Axios a really nice application for lower criticality equipment, where the customer doesn't necessarily need to know what's wrong with the machine. They just need to know that they need to take a look. So let's take an example, look at a real life example from one of SKF's own factories, and where we're basically practicing what we preach.
The biggest benefits of Axios are, first and foremost, the affordability of the technology. We were able to deploy the technology on lower criticality assets that historically did not justify a payback. So here, because of the lower cost, we were able to deploy it on a much bigger asset list. Not only that, we were able to deploy it through generally technicians. It did not require intensive knowledge. It was very easy to install, very easy to connect to the gateway, and also very easy to commission. As temperature of fluids is critical in a factory, we actually deployed the sensor for a non-vibration application. We simply deployed it as a thermometer, and we actually put it into the inlet and outlet from our utilities to measure the quality and the temperature of fluids going back into the factory. And actually here, within 3 days, we were able to detect a major deviation that was impacting not only the quality, but also the performance of the factory. So this was one of our initial success stories that actually allowed us and encouraged us to deploy faster, but also deploy on non-standard applications.
So it's good to hear from Maddie that the real subjects and real case stories are always the best ones. So now let's have Stefano summarize the offer.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Maddie. So to summarize, we think that there are 3 ways that our distributor can benefit from the SKF Axios. First, we have seen that there is today a growing demand for digitalization tools at customers. And we think that SKF Axios enables our distributor to offer something that is meeting that demand. Not only, and this is the biggest differentiator, together we can provide a unique mechanical expertise that really makes the difference with any other providers on the market. Second, how better to engage with the customer needs than providing a product that monitors their plant health. When Axios will indicate that something is getting wrong, they need to replace a motor or any other asset, you will be there to provide the solution. Last but not least, SKF has packaged this system to be easy to do business. We have seen how it is easy to install and use, but wanted also to make it very easy business model. Just one invoice in the same system you are using to order any other SKF product. No dealing with subscription, fees, service contract, purchasing from the web with digital credit cards. All of that make SKF Axios very different from any other condition monitoring tool on the market. So to summarize again, easy to sell, easy to install, and easy to use. Very simple. And now, thank you. And we are really looking forward to see Axios spread it all around Europe, Middle East, and Africa. Thank you.
Yes, Stefano, I agree. What a great product. It'll be interesting to follow that rollout. I'm sure the distributors have many questions around this exciting product, and Chris will be back a little bit later to answer your questions in the Q&A. Let's now turn our focus to the final enabler in the Worth It strategy. And for that, let's fly to the EDC, the European Distribution Center, to talk about how the demand and supply chain side is enabling all the business we've talked about here today. And let's hear now from Martina Zlatar, who heads up EMEA Demand and Supply, along with Logistics, and Kim Stoughton, who is the General Manager of EDC.
Hello everyone, very warm welcome to Tongeren, the heart of Europe in Belgium.
Yes, and also from my end, a very warm welcome here to EDC, our European Distribution Center. We are in the midst of our logistics operation where we monitor, pick, pack and load all of your orders day and night.
I hope you can hear us well because there are many movements here. And what we will do now, we will actually talk about the movements, about the logistics and the supply chain, which is the final enabler of our Worth It strategy to enable our profitable and sustainable distribution growth. We decided to structure this in 3 different areas. And that is based on your voice, on a customer voice, which we have collected through our SKF webinars. So those areas are availability, which means the right product at the right place at the right time. Second one, reliability, what we promise and do we keep our promise. And the third one, speed to execute. First area is around the availability. And as our customer offers say, good availability brings loyal customer. Actually, last few years were not really good in terms of availability, which often resulted in worse levels than what our SKF levels are. And we took it as an opportunity. We learned from it. And now we are putting so much focus into it to not just reach the historical levels before COVID, but also to be even better. And the key is actually in the full value chain approach, supported by a high degree of a digitalization and automation tools. We implemented end-to-end global integrated planning and forecasting, where we're starting from our customers through the full supply chain all the way down to our suppliers executing planning. And this helps us to be more resilient to all the market needs. And also, very big focus we have on the assortment and also on our focus industries, which is part of the Worth It strategy and the EMEA strategy. Now, this is from the strategic point of view. And Kim, tell us, please, when it comes to the operational logistics, what does availability mean for you?
Yes, with an improved availability, we receive much more fast-moving items compared to the slow-moving. And when we have more fast-moving items, we can use the more valuable picking locations, so we can also increase our speed here in the warehouse. Now, the role of EDC is actually to serve the prompt orders. And by definition, prompt orders mean many small order lines and few pieces per order line. Now, with an increased availability, we emphasize on that role. Now, having a good availability, we also need to have, of course, a high level of reliability, serving our orders according to our promise date. When we have both, we will have happy customers.
Strategically, to keep the promise has been, it is today, and will be a key differentiator for SKF. And we again have learned a lot from the disturbances which hit us in the last several years, and we have learned where our weaknesses are. So we put a lot of focus in stabilizing both our systems and our processes, and this has really resulted in big improvements when it comes to the order rebookings. And then also one other thing, industrial distribution is really an area where we put the priority. So we put our resources, we prioritize our resources both from the supply chain perspective, but also the logistic operational perspective to become really much better in what we promise and what we deliver to our customers and the distributors. Now, Kim, can you please tell us what do you do to improve the reliability in the logistics area?
Sure. Let me first tell you what we mean about reliability in our warehouse. Now, reliability means that we ship the right product in the right quantity against our promise date. Whenever we miss out on our promise date, we cause a broken promise, so we have a reliability failure. So for EDC, we have a KPI set, and we measure actually our reliability by errors per million. So that means whenever we have a broken promise, we fail an order line, and we put that against the total line shipped. Today, we are at 452 EPM. So this is really at a very, very good level. It means that we reach a high reliability level of 99.95%. Now, to come back to your question, we actually have a process on planning resources and workload leveling. And this is really important to keep a high level of reliability. Now, we focus within that process on our industrial distributors And of course, we need to make sure that the rush orders are shipped on a daily basis. Now, besides having a good availability and a high reliability level, there's also speed. And speed will be the icing on the cake.
Distributors often say that fast deliveries are so important to us. So next to the availability, reliability, as you say, speed is extremely important. Speed in making the right decision in planning, speed to pick and pack, and speed to ship and deliver on time to our customers. So next to the availability and reliability, as we said, speed is extremely important. And it's all about actually improving our lead time in every single step of the full supply chain and full value chain. And it's also about improving and optimizing our transportation network, physical network, but it's also about automation in our logistic warehouses. And this is so exciting area in EDC today. So Kim, can you please tell to our customers a little bit more what exactly are you doing at EDC to actually enable the automation to make sure we have enough speed for our customers?
Yes, I will do, and this is really exciting stuff now. So, we always strive for continuous improvements. By that, we can increase our efficiency. Now, in the past, we actually implemented a goods demand solution with the mini load. By doing this, we have managed to triple our pick lines per man hour. Now, this is an automated solution, but it requires also a lot of preparation before you can do such a technology inside your processes. We need to make sure that we run the smooth process. Now, what I've not yet said is that with the automation comes also the standardization, because without standardization, the automation will not work. The study we are conducting today is actually to look into the number of carton box types we have and try to standardize that, going from 8 types to maximum 2 types, because by doing so, we can automate in future. Another area which we are studying today is that we want to have an automated solution for our decanting. Decanting means that we actually put items from one pallet into a tote or into a pallet in another pallet. So actually, by doing that in an automated, robotized way, we can increase our efficiency and also our speed. So, I said this was amazing, right?
Really great, Kim. So, we really feel that demand and supply chain, also logistics, is like a spider in the web, putting all the dots together. And all the activities we just talked about will further boost our availability, our reliability, and also the speed. So, we, of course, also take further steps and improvements as part of the Worth It strategy to further improve, and especially in the new area of the sustainability and decarbonization. Working end-to-end, working full value chain is the key to enable the profitable and sustainable distribution growth. So we are wrapping up now, and Kim and myself going back to work.
Thank you, Martina and Kim. It was great to go behind the walls of the DC and see what's being done to really boost reliability, availability, and speed for the distributors and for customers. So let's move on to a final Menti question. Now that you've heard about the strategy, you've heard about the Worth It pillars, we want to hear, in one word, what will you remember most from this conference? So please go in and answer that. And while we're doing the Q&A, we want you to go in and build that word cloud. So we'll check back in a few minutes. So in the meantime then, I would like to invite up my guests that are here in the studio, Martin and Jens, for our Worth It Q&A. Come on up, gentlemen.
Thank you.
So
Thank
Jens
you.
and Martin, I have here live in the studio. We also have with us Diogo via link to answer questions about heavy. We have Chris with us for Axios questions and Martina about supply chain and logistics. So let's kick things off. I think the first question I see here that has come in is Jens for you, and that is, will you make investments into hands-on support resources to deliver on your digital strategy, like IT help desk?
And Stephanie, of course, and all you viewers, the answer is yes. Both from an end user perspective, you being in the portal, there will be both availability of a ticket, and also you have a local champion that you can actually ask questions to. But also in the digital service behind the scenes, we will ensure that there is good support as well.
Good. And next question, I see Martin, it's for you. Will calculation tools be integrated in SKF for me?
SKF calculation tools, also known as our engineering tools, I mean, they are extremely important digital tools to support you selecting the right products, making calculations. We got links to them in SKF for me, but they are not fully yet integrated. But right now, we are actually working on a feature in our calculation tools that will improve the seamless experience between them and SKF for me. This feature will enable users, for instance, in Housing Select, to place their products in the shopping cart. So they can be in Housing Select and place the product in the shopping cart, and later on place the orders in SKF for me. And I mean, going forward, I mean, we need to continue evaluating, I mean, how we further can embed and integrate these tools in SKF for me.
Great, and I know this next question has been coming again and again. I think the distributors are anxious to know. Is it right that SKF for me will fully replace Web Customer Link, and when can we expect it? What's the rollout plan?
Yes, I mean, it is right that it will replace Web Customer Link. As I said, it's coming your way now. Right now, we are running a pilot with a handful of distributors. They are testing SKF for me to validate it is fit for purpose and meet your needs. So if everything goes as planned with the pilot, I mean, we will start replacing Web Customer Link with SKF for me, migrate the users to SKF for me in the coming 6 months. And the actual migration will start in November if everything goes as planned. It should also be said that this will be managed in a controlled and systematic way. So we will take a few market countries at a time. And it should also be mentioned that there will be certain markets, countries that will not get SKF for me during next year due to certain technical constraints, limitations. But I would say that about 80% of the current Web Customer Link users will get SKF for me in the very near future.
Great, good news, good news. I see the next question is about Axios, and we have now, as Chris said, this little fellow here with us. So let's, Chris, if you can connect, this question is for you. You mentioned the service is coming from AWS. Do we have to deal with them directly? One of the distributors wonders.
No, you don't. SKF handles that for you. There's two elements to the Axios system. There's the hardware. But there's also a software license to apply the machine learning, which is what AWS handles. And SKF bundled both of those two elements into a single hardware transaction. So all that needs to be delivered is the box, which we know that our distributors are very good at. There's no subsequent costs then for the customer. That's where it stops on the financial side. Amazon or AWS do have their own version of the product, their own branded version, which they would sell with two separate transactions. The hardware, which would then have to be ordered off Amazon.com and paid for by credit card, and then the software, which they would also need to set up as a separate subscription and pay by credit card every month. And those two things together separately are quite hard for businesses to implement, which is why we've bundled it into a single transaction. Also, you don't get any technical application support whatsoever from Amazon. Another factor is also we've separated the system electrically, so there's no risk of our distributors doing all the work and then a customer going off and ordering online.
I'm sure they like to hear that. and a follow-up question then, Chris, is when will the product be available from EDC?
Well, that's an easy one. The first boxes started coming into EDC at the end of last week, so it should be available from this week onwards.
Good to hear. Good. Very positive answers from you. Okay, so I see the next questions coming in are for Diogo about heavy industry. So Diogo, if we have you with us, this question is, will the new products impact the existing portfolio? Don't forget to unmute yourself.
Sorry, we are live. Sorry for that.
Yes, that's
so
okay.
That's a pretty good question. I think I will start by saying that certainly we as SKF, we have the most comprehensive portfolio for the full industries, right? Talking about bearing assortment, talking about sealing solutions, MAPRO, condition monitoring, remanufacturing services, you name it. There is no other competitor out there with such a compelling portfolio as SKF has. This is number one. Though we should not sleep under the banana tree, we need to continue to invest. We need to continue to look for opportunities that can bring innovation to the market so that we can continue to have the competitive edge as far as technology is concerned, as far as aggressiveness of our pricing positioning in the marketplace. So this is the first part. The second part, bringing innovation brings new products. And new products is a good vehicle for us to capitalize on those so that we can achieve our ambition of 13% market share going forward.
Thanks, Diogo. And a follow-up question to you about sustainability. How much do you work on sustainability with the OEMs, and how much can we benefit from the distributor?
It's a very big question, I would say. I would divide that question into two blocks. Right? The OEMs. When we think about OEMs, we need to think about what the OEMs care about. And they care about their own business, of course, and they care about the business of their customers. And their customers are the end users. So when we focus on the OEM business, we need to also focus on the end users, right? We need to understand their needs. We need to put together a program, an account management program, to understand what the end users are after, so that we can co-create a value proposition that indeed can be impactful for them. Once we do this job with the wide relationship within the end user organization, we need to persuade the end user to convince the OEM to install those solutions right at their end. On the other hand, sustainability, SKF, and I'm repeating myself a little bit, but SKF has a quite wide and comprehensive portfolio as far as sustainability is concerned. As a matter of fact, we have unique solutions for the industry. Some of them, they save 50% lubrication consumption. So we need to capitalize on that, both saving the environment, but also when we decrease the total cost of ownership of our customers, we need to be smart and put together a monetized business case for the customer to understand that they are saving money. And by doing that, we need to be opportunistic and take advantage of that as well.
Thank you very much, Diogo. And now we have a few questions for Martina, if she's with us. And the first one for you is, does EDC have KPIs for delivery errors?
Yes, very good question, and I think it was partly already elaborated in the last session. We actually have a quite detailed process when it comes to reviewing all the delivery errors that we are receiving. So each and every error is being reviewed, and then we are working on the root cause analysis to make the improvements. We measure each and every error, and we call that DER. The KPI that we use for EDC today, and the number that Kim already mentioned before, is we are on 99.5% error per million, which means the number of the delivery errors are relatively small, very, very small, I would even say, and we are constantly improving it. What is important is that every error is being reported by you through our customer service and sales office, so that we can actually put the improvement in place whenever error is happening. This is very important.
Thanks, Martina. Next question to you. How do you optimize inbound for distributors?
And probably also linked to the first question. Definitely by improving the delivery errors, this is one big area, which means that the less errors we do, the customers can trust better. So that means you can actually prioritize the resources in the inbound area, and trust of what we are shipping in the pallets, in the boxes is bigger. So this is very, very important area. But also other key things which we have said earlier, availability, reliability, shipments on time. That means you can plan. Customers can plan when we are shipping at what time. Also, operations in the inbound areas can be optimized. Availability as well. If we have the right availability for our assortments, means better consolidations of the packages. So all of that is actually contributing for improvements in the inbound area for our customers. And last part, which I also like to mention, is digitalization. So as Martin was talking about the SKF for me, that is also one improvement which we are doing when it comes to the track and trace of order lines. The transparency, connected supply chains definitely bring more information to the customers and optimization and possibility to optimize the inbound processes.
Okay, Martina, and I think we have time for one last quick question for you. They want to know about the situation around all the rebookings. Can you address that?
Wow, this is a hard one. But really one of the biggest area of the improvements for us in SKF for the last few years. All of you have been experiencing the situation starting from COVID crisis, where we had a huge problems on the market when it comes to the disturbances. So the full supply chain was disturbed. Our systems and our processes in SKF are actually set to optimize on a daily precision. And that means that whatever our customers are requesting on a daily basis, even on the long horizon, that is how we plan. When we have a big disturbances on the market, that means that every little change will actually impact what we are processing in our systems. That means a rebooking, an order rebooking to our customer. But this is actually, as I said, big improvement area. We have learned a lot. We have learned how our systems and processes are working, and we put a lot of optimization inside. So I can proudly say that now, within 1 year, we actually improved the number of rebookings less than 5 times. We are still not there. We still have a lot to improve, but it's much, much, much better than before. Also, this has to go in the combination and hand in hand with how we are improving the flexibility in our factory. So the more flexible we are, we can actually adapt better to the market needs. So I would say these two improvements bringing to the improvements, having less rebookings towards our customers.
Thanks, Martina. Good to end on a positive note with the improvements being made. So I think we're running out of time for the Q&A. So if any of you still have questions that we haven't got to now during our live stream, add them in the chat and we will make sure they will get answered after the event. So let's go back to our final Menti then and see what they've answered. We posed the question to you all, what will you remember most from this conference? And I see, look, SKF for me and Axios are really big there. So the digitalization, these digital tools are big. So you two must be happy then. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And of course, sustainability also is really big there. So that we like to see. And the one word I think I'll take with me after all this is collaboration. It's been a great collaboration with the entire project team. Thank you for letting me help you lead this. And we'll leave the stage now and let Nadine leave you with a final word. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Almost 2 hours have passed very quickly, and we hope that you found the presentation interesting and valuable for you. So let me wrap up shortly before leaving the stage. What we heard today, distribution is a fundamental part of our SKF growth strategy. And Rikard and David highlighted this very clearly. So how do we achieve this growth? By making it worth it and by implementing our key enablers for sustainable and profitable growth. To drive focus and efficiency, We learned about the digital strategy and how we make it easier to do business with from tools like SKF for Me. Big steps have been taken in logistic and supply chain. Martina and Kim shared directly coming from EDC what improvements we have taken and what's planned a step forward. When it comes to go-to-market, creating value jointly together will make a difference. The classic triangle, as we heard from our end user in the heavy industry. We need to continue delivering innovation and new products to our end customers. A great example is Axios, a special offer for you, distributors in EMEA, that is easy from all perspectives. For sure, it will open opportunities and new business for us together. Also, it's important being transparent about the issues we were facing. And I'm glad that it was clearly highlighted how we have addressed the issues in Blue Line and food and beverage and how we are fixing and solving that going forward. Our last enabler is knowledge, and I would like to launch a short video for you. This event doesn't end here, which is why we have put together a package for you to distribute to your teams and organization, to share about what we have discussed today and some topics even more in details than we could do in 2 hours. We continue sharing knowledge also through our bi-monthly webinars for your teams. And from next year, we will also offer 2 virtual sessions for you, the distribution management, to share about our SKF results and updates to the strategy. I would like to thank all speakers of today and everyone who was working very hard in the background to make this event valuable for you. Thank you also Stephanie, and big thanks to the project manager Berber Tuinstra, Doris Herzl and also Ellen Brander, who have been main contributors. But most important, I would like to thank you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for engaging with us today. A lot of questions have come in. Thank you also for sharing prior to the event your inputs, and we are also looking forward hearing your feedback after the event. We continue the dialogue and collaboration. So let's take this event as a new era for even closer collaboration together. Let's collaborate for growth. See you next time.